I just want to briefly stop and take note of this graffiti. This is the hardest of all hardcore graffiti. You know you're dealing with tough thugs when they put up graffiti saying Macedonian opera and ballet. When you see graffiti for the opera and the ballet, you know you got to watch out. These guys are just hardcore. They're not messing around. Today being Sunday, I guess it's not surprising that the Christian folk here are having their Christian holy day on Sunday. And this is kind of a thing, I saw this in Belgrade as well. I guess this is what happens in a lot of these Eastern Orthodox churches. People come and light candles on Sunday. Everybody comes here and lights a candle and puts the candle in the candle holder thing. Some nice columns here with statues on the top. I think that singing is recorded rather than live, but it's still nice. Another statue over there. Well, the rain finally stopped, which I'm glad about. I don't know if it'll start up again, but at least for now we have a bit of a respite from the rain, so let's move on. Okay, so I'm here a little east of the city center. This is a nice place here. Oh, that thing over there, Vero, that's a shopping center. It's one of the big shopping malls here in Skopje. Pretty decent shopping mall. I mean, it's nothing really super special, but it's got basic stores that you'd find in most shopping malls. That over there across the river is that church that I was at with the people putting candles in the candle holders. I guess I'll just take a little stroll by the river here for a while, because the river is actually very nice. I really like this river. It's very pleasant, very peaceful. It's quite nice. One thing I really like is these bookstalls here. Now, Skopje, unfortunately, doesn't really have good bookstores, in my opinion, or at least not that I've found. But you have a lot of these little stalls here selling knigi, as that orange text says knigi, which means books. I know that because it's the same word in Russian. And you've got all these stalls here, just selling mostly used books out of these stalls. Most of them are closed today, probably because it's Sunday, I guess. Or maybe I'm too early, although I don't think I'm that early. Hold on, what time is it? It's about 10:45 in the morning, so it's not that early anymore. So I think probably most of these places are just going to stay closed because it's Sunday. But this guy here is getting his bookstall ready to sell books to the good people of Skopje. Thank you for selling books, sir. Thank you. Благодаря. I think it said something like thank you, but I have no idea what I actually said. He seemed rather indifferent to what I had to say anyway. Oh yeah, that impressive looking building over there is the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Pretty cool. Can I get a shot of the... Yeah, there we go. I like the statues in front of it. Yeah, I passed by that on the way here. Yeah, Ministry of Foreign Affairs. I guess most people don't have any business going inside there, but it looks nice on the outside. So yeah, I really like this place. I mean, in my opinion, North Macedonia is better than... I mean, I like it here better than any of the countries that this place borders. Which I guess just goes to show you that mountains are always better than the ocean. But on that note, I thought I might take a moment to, since I'm walking around anyway, I'll take a moment to just briefly give my impressions of the other Balkan countries that I've been to, since I didn't make videos out of most of them. So I'll just go ahead and briefly mention them. I've been to every Balkan country now, except for Moldova. I don't know if Moldova really counts as a Balkan country, but whether it does or not, I've never been there. And I don't really have a great desire to go there, to be honest. In this respect, I think I will defer to Bald and Bankrupt's vastly superior coverage of the topic. The first video I ever saw from him was a video called something like, "No one travels to this country, find out why," or something like that. And yeah, the country in question was Moldova, and nobody goes there because it's, well, it's not exactly the kind of place you'd want to go. It's not the kind of place most people want to go. But he sort of, Bald and Bankrupt, has sort of made a channel out of going to the places where nobody else wants to go. That's his thing. It's also why he likes Belarus so much. Those are the two countries that I have not been to. Outside of Moldova and Belarus, I think I've been to every country in mainland Europe, if you don't count the 5 microstates. Okay, I haven't been to the 5 microstates like Vatican City and Monaco and Liechtenstein, but other than that, I think I've been to every country in mainland Europe. So yeah, so I'll go ahead and give a quick sort of lightning review of different Balkan countries. Where should I start? I guess I'll start in the northwest with Slovenia. Slovenia is nice, but there's just not much to it. That's the thing. Slovenia is very small. It's about the same size as North Macedonia, but it's a lot less ambitious or grandiose. So I mean, I've been there several times. I've been to Ljubljana, the capital, twice, and then I went to Maribor, which is the second largest city. And both of them, you know, it's like they're pleasant. You know, it's nice. Like, you know, it's, and the landscape is similar to here. It has a lot of mountains. In fact, their flag has a mountain symbol on it. It's nice, but it's just like there's really not much there. There's just not much to say about it because there's nothing there. Croatia is very different. Croatia is wonderful. Croatia is very popular for beach-going people. Most people think of Croatia as a nice place to go to the beach. It does have nice beaches, but I personally am not a beach person. For me, what I really love about Croatia is the north. I honestly will defend my opinion that Zagreb is easily one of the most underrated European capital cities in all of Europe. Zagreb is wonderful, and I was also in the east. Like I was in Osijek, which is the other big city in like eastern Croatia. But the whole of northern Croatia, like I traveled around northern Croatia, it's absolutely wonderful, absolutely beautiful. One of my favorite places, one of my personal favorite places in all of Europe. Oh yeah, this yellow building that is the Holiday Inn. Oh yeah, and this statue, hold on, let me maybe just take a second to look at this statue because it's, I don't know what it's supposed to represent, but it's kind of upsetting. It's a little disturbing. Not this one. This one is some person cradling their musical instrument. But, but this is, like some woman who's being separated from her children, and she's sad and crying, and all the children are crying, and the mother's screaming, and there's some boy who is like on his knees hugging her, and I do not know what that's about. It's probably something to do with some war, but it's pretty dark, pretty depressing. Here you have a nice store of Macedonian souvenirs of varying levels of something. Anyway, okay, what was I saying? Yeah, Croatia. So, most people love the Croatian coastline. They like the beaches there, the ocean. Yeah, what can I say? If that's your kind of thing, then okay, great. But yeah, I don't. Again, for me, I'm more about the mountains than the ocean, which is probably one of the reasons why I vastly prefer this place to most of the countries that border it. Yeah, I love northern Croatia, so Zagreb, Osijek, everything in between, all that's just absolutely wonderful. I've been there several times. I just can't get enough of it personally. So that's my take on it. I don't like the coastal part of Croatia. It's too touristy, too much just about the ocean, and yeah, and it's It's actually a little dangerous. You don't. I didn't really feel safe there, to be honest. Some places feel a bit dodgy. Anyway, what's next? Serbia. I made a few videos about Serbia a couple of years ago when I went there. You know, Serbia's not bad, but again, there's not necessarily a lot there. Like, I kept asking myself, would I want to come back here? And the answer is no. Like, I have no reason to ever go back to Serbia, I don't think. You know, it's okay. You know, Belgrade's not a bad city. You can see some interesting things there, but would I ever want to go back? Probably not. I don't know. I really don't have much to say about it. Bosnia, boy. Bosnia and Albania both were, to me, just absolutely terrible. Just so poor and so broken down. Everybody's just so unhappy. Gosh, I just wanted to get out of both countries as fast as possible. Yeah, for me, Bosnia and Albania both are just like, nope. Didn't like them, don't want to ever go back. Kosovo, I thought would be similar, because Kosovo is basically like mini Albania. But actually, Kosovo's not as bad, probably because it doesn't have any big cities. Like, even Pristina is not really a big city. It actually is, it feels very small. It's like a suburb rather than a proper city. Kosovo is interesting as a sort of a political laboratory, or like a political experiment, because you've got all that American involvement. You know, there are those famous statues of like Bill Clinton and Madeleine Albright and people like that. As a political experiment, Kosovo is quite interesting, but you know, it's interesting to see, because it's got all that investment from the United States. So it's like it's what happens when American political involvement and capital investment collides with very, very sort of traditional, old-fashioned, conservative political, social values and really like long-running poverty. When those two collide, you've got Kosovo. And again, as a political experiment, it's actually quite interesting if you're into politics and you want to study politics and how politics works. But if you're a more traditional tourist, there's very little there. Like, there's really, if you're just like a regular tourist looking for touristy things, there's very little in Kosovo to recommend going to Kosovo. Honestly, there's really nothing there. Like, I don't think it's worth. It's not a touristy destination. Montenegro is a popular tourist destination, but mostly for the nature. Montenegro has really nice mountains. I took a bus through Montenegro, and they've got this really like nice mountain range with like a water reservoir in it. It looks like a river running through the mountains, but I think it's actually just like a water reservoir, like an artificial one. But it looks really nice. It's a great place to go hiking in the mountains if you want to do hiking, camping, stuff like that in the forests and mountains. It's a good place for that. But it is not a good place for cultural tourism. I was in Podgorica, the capital of Montenegro, and you know, it's not strong on cultural attractions. So, you know, Montenegro, go there if you like mountains and you want to go hiking in the mountains, but do not go to the cities there expecting, you know, cultural wealth or depth. It's not a cultural center. What else? Greece. I didn't like Greece. I know some people really like Greece, but to me Greece is just, again, it has the same problems as other Balkan countries. A lot of it is really so poor and run down, so covered with graffiti and, you know, trash thrown around, and buildings and pavement and things are just falling apart, and people are so poor, and there's not really even that much there. Like, people think of Greece as a cultural center because of the history of, you know, the Greek philosophers like Plato and Socrates and stuff like that. But I mean, I always say that whole thing with Plato, Socrates, Aristotle, all those famous philosophers, that was more than 2,000 years ago. It was so long ago. And the Greece of today bears very little relation or resemblance to the Greece of back then. It's like you can't think of it as the same country because it really wasn't. It's a totally different country. It's completely different from what it was back then. So today Greece is just like, no, I mean, sure, of course some of the ruins are nice. Like, yeah, the area around the Parthenon, yes, it's nice. It's cool to see the ruins, and the area around it's kept very nice. But once you get into like more the city of Athens or other parts of Greece, it's a slum. Like, really, I mean, I just hate to say it, but it's true. Like, it's so poor, and it is dangerous. Like, you know, people do get mugged and things like that there. It's not pleasant. I just didn't like it at all. Bulgaria. Yeah, Bulgaria's a bit mixed. So the capital city of Bulgaria, Sofia, I don't really have much to say about it. It's okay. I mean, you know, it's not a bad city, but again, there's just not much to say about it. There's really not much going on there. The nice city in Bulgaria is Varna. So Varna is on the east coast. It's on the Black Sea. It's kind of touristy because it's on the Black Sea, but it's not like super touristy. It's not touristy in a bad way. It actually feels it's quite nice there, actually. And everything in between those two cities is pretty much just like a barren wasteland. It's so poor. There's like I stopped in Plovdiv, which is about halfway between Sofia and Varna, and it's supposed to have some nice cultural landmarks. Maybe it does, but it's just like, I didn't like it. It's mostly just another poor, anonymous city. So yeah, I mean, Sofia's okay. Varna's nice if you want to go to the Black Sea and, you know, like be on the beach for a while. Varna's cool for that. Otherwise, yeah, not much to see or do in Bulgaria. Romania, boy, Romania's kind of divided. The thing about Romania is the northwestern part of Romania, which is now called Transylvania, it used to not be Romania. It used to belong to Austria-Hungary, and so so it's a bit different from the real old Romania, which is the part that's south and east of the Carpathian Mountains. In Transylvania, it's a little better. Like the city of Cluj, I don't know if I'd recommend it as a tourist spot, but it's okay. Like it's not horrible. You can walk around Cluj, and you know there's some nice stuff to see there. The nice city in Romania is Brașov, in the mountains. Everybody raves about how nice Brașov is, and yeah, it's cool, but it's like a ski resort. It's almost like an alpine ski town. So what I'm doing now is I'm going a little bit, so that we're back here at Macedonia Square. I'm going to just walk west for a bit, and you'll just see kind of what the shopping part of the main city center looks like. There's not much to it, but I might as well just walk down it just so you can see it. Yeah, so I was talking about Transylvania. Cluj is okay. Brașov is nice. I did not like Timișoara. But yeah, the old Romania, like again, the part that's south and east of the Carpathian Mountains, is just awful. Bucharest is, oh man, it's such a kind of, it's just like a shell of a city. Like the city center is empty. Like they just tore it down, and a lot of the buildings just like sit completely abandoned. Like even in the city center, there are a bunch of buildings just sitting around with their windows smashed in and completely empty inside, and nobody's bothered to build them up or anything like that. Here is a band of musicians, or 3 musicians and one guy who appears to be using his drunken antics as a musical instrument. So yeah, Bucharest is just terrible. I also went to Constanza, which is in southeastern Romania, also on the Black Sea coast. It's supposed to be nice. It's supposed to be touristy because it's on the sea. There's like one very small part of it, which is kind of like, okay, yeah, if you walk along the beach, you know, there's like one touristy area where there's a beach and that old casino building, and if you walk along that for like for like 1 or 2 kilometers maybe, it's okay to walk there, but everything else about Constanza is just horrible. Like if you want to go to the Black Sea, go to Varna in Bulgaria instead. Constanza is not a recommend. What else? Hungary. Hungary is a weird country. It's their language is totally impossible, and yeah, it's weird. Budapest was, for me, just a very negative experience. Like some people like Budapest because of the architecture, but again, for me, Budapest is just, it's so broken down. It's so poor. The people feel like actively hostile towards you, or at least that was the feeling that I got there. Yeah, I did not like Budapest at all, and I've been there like 3 times now, and every time it was just awful. Small town Hungary can sometimes be nice. Like if you go to like one of the smaller, villages or very small cities in Hungary, sometimes they have that sort of small town charm to them that's kind of nice, but it's kind of like, why would you go there? That's the thing. It's kind of, after all the traveling that I've done, I'm starting to kind of ask myself, why do I go to these places? Because, if you don't know anyone there personally, if you don't speak the local language, and if you're not connected to that place somehow by ancestry or something like that, what reason do you really have to go there? What reason do you have to visit a village of like 20,000 people in a place where you don't know anyone, you don't speak the language, and you have no business or anything going on there? It's just like, why go out of your way to go there? Even a place like this. Like I came here because I wanted to make this video, because I like this place. But even here, like, I walked west from that square of the guy on the horse, and I'm already in a place like this, which is just dingy apartment buildings like that. More dingy apartment buildings over there. The flag is cool, but I mean, that's it. That's Skopje. That's all there is. And it's like, okay, I kind of like this place, but will I have a reason to ever come back here? It's so far away. It's so far out of the way from everything. And I don't speak the language. I don't know anyone here. Will I ever come back here? Will I ever have a reason to come back here? I don't think I will. So that's kind of a motif, I guess, for most of the Balkan countries. It's like, yes, sometimes they're interesting, but unless you have a specific reason to be there, unless you know someone there, or unless your family's from there, something like that, you don't have a lot of reason to be here, anywhere in the Balkans. And that's true for pretty much all the Balkans. So yeah, that's kind of the long and the short of it. And I apologize if some of my opinions were rather negative. I know I said some negative things about some countries. I apologize if I offended if you're from one of the countries I mentioned, and if I offended your country, I apologize. I just thought I might as well just be honest. I've been to all these places, and since I've been there, I might as well just honestly say what I think of them. So yeah, that was Skopje. I just realized, remember before when I was commenting on that graffiti about the Macedonian Opera and Ballet? I think the reason for that was because that building there actually is the National Opera and Ballet of Macedonia. But it's only marked from here on this side. On the other side, I guess, if you were there, you couldn't tell what building it is. And so I guess some altruistic graffiti artist painted that sign there so that you'd know, okay, it's this building. It's not officially marked, but this building is the Opera and Ballet in case you wanted to find it. So that's probably why they put that graffiti there. Okay, and this structure here is the Železnička Stancija Skopje, the railway station of Skopje. I think the trains go through those huge tubes up there. I went to the train station the first time I was here because I wanted to take a train out of the city, but I found out that only domestic trains run from here. There are no international trains that run in North Macedonia, probably because the place is so mountainous and it would be difficult to build train tracks that get in and out of the country. So yeah, but integrated into that same building, there's no prominent sign for it as far as I can tell, but in that same building is also the international bus station, and you can take buses from here to pretty much any neighboring country, so buses here are common and not too expensive. So yeah, the train and bus station is there. This here is the this hotel, the Astor Hotel. This is where I stayed the first time I was here in Skopje. It's convenient because it's, you know, obviously close to the bus station if you're traveling around. But yeah, that's that. So yeah, this is the kind of main transit, obviously besides the airport, this is the main transit terminal for Skopje. So it's a good place to begin a journey or to end one. So I will finish off my journey here, not only my journey to Skopje, but probably also in YouTube, because this will probably be my last video on this YouTube channel, because you know, it started off being a channel mostly about travel videos, but I don't travel that much anymore, and when I do, it's mostly to places where I wouldn't want to make a video. I mean, I've made videos now of pretty much every place that I would want to make a video of, and if I do any more traveling, I don't think that I'll make a video about it because, you know, I don't have anything left to say, honestly. All the places that I wanted to talk about and capture on film, I've done so. So I am done. And I did other stuff with the channel. I, you know, made some vlogs, but they were never really very popular anyway. Nobody wants to just watch me sit and talk for an hour. That's kind of boring, I understand that. And yeah, I thought about doing some other kind of projects with the channel, but you know, it's a lot of work to make like home, you know, like amateur films and things like that. And I don't really have anybody who wants to act in my films and things like that. So, you know, I mean, that's probably not something that's going to happen anytime soon. So yeah, this will probably, like I said, this will probably be my last video on this YouTube channel. So thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks for sticking around with me over the years, for those of you who have. I hope that you've enjoyed it. I hope that you've enjoyed this look at Skopje as well as some of the other places I've been to. And yeah, it's been fun showing you folks some of the places that I've been and talking about them. I've enjoyed it. Hope that you folks did as well. And yeah, this is me signing off. Bye-bye.